Throwing progression. The purpose that we would use this for is kind of twofold. Both to get loosened up, but most importantly to build fundamental throwing skills. I tell our players somewhat frequently the most important thing that they're going to do on a daily basis in terms of their individual development as a player is play catch. And yet, usually it's the thing that they take the least seriously. Right? We've all seen and experienced it. You are one person, maybe you've got a couple of assistants, you send your group of 12 out to play catch, and they kind of just sort of fling the ball around because in their mind, all they're doing is getting loosened up, all they're doing is getting warmed up. That's understandable from a kid's viewpoint. It's a point of emphasis for us. This is how we're learning how to throw better. This is how we're learning how to throw harder. This is how we're learning to throw more accurately. So I'm going to have them just walk through a brief throwing progression. We will go through at least a variation of this by position. They're going to start with just a basic ball flip. And so the biggest thing is they're working on 4 seam grips to start with. Just finding a seam where it makes a C. These guys have played enough baseball where they don't have to think about that. They just know how to get that grip. And they're just flipping it back and forth. The purpose of this, just feeling that grip come out of their hands and with good, perfect backspin. And trying to be able to, again, throw that ball as straight, accurately, as hard as we possibly can. So we wouldn't do this for real long. However long we're going to have them demonstrate is actually about how long we would do it at a practice, maybe 10 or fewer reps on this one. Go ahead and hold the baseballs, guys. Aiden and Jack, why don't you back up and maybe till you're about even with me here. The next one is called a feet frozen throw, and they're going to get their feet about shoulder width apart or so, with a good slight bend at the knees, what you might term an athletic position, and they're not going to hit anybody, but if they were, they would be in this type of position right here. That's about what we want them in. The purpose of this drill is to just isolate their upper half throwing mechanics. And so what you're going to see them do well, you guys can go ahead and start, fellas. Just playing some catch back and forth. And they're really using their glove side to set their target and where they're trying to throw the baseball. And they're using the full swing grip again as well. And they're just playing catch, trying to hit their buddy in the chest on each and every throw. And cues that I would use, at least with a younger level practice, using their glove to try to set their target. And whether their glove is fully extended, whether they have a slight bend in the elbow, if they're 11 or 12, that's not a huge difference either way. What you guys are going to be fighting against are the kids who do nothing with the front side and it just comes out like this. And they've all got to be using that front side elbow or extended glove in some way to shape their target. And then extension between their 2 arms, separating those, right? Trying to stay away from too much of this right here. As they get older and you have different position groups, right? Catchers and infielders are going to throw more from here, while pitchers and outfielders are going to have a much longer arm action. As they're very young, as they're developing, we really want to work on that separation because it sometimes feels unnatural. And sometimes the natural feel is, I'm just going to kind of fling it from my ear. They're really trying to work on that separation of the 2 arms. Okay, guys. So what I would do is, we won't do it with these guys, but I would start at a short distance, and then I would say, all right, we're going to move back several more steps, have them do the same thing at a little bit longer position, then we move into the next one. You guys can just back up a couple more. This one is called boxer catch. They're going to just sort of bounce back and forth a little bit like a boxer, where they're just building some athleticism and momentum between their feet. They've got their hand in glove with the ball, and then they'll work on pushing off their back foot and throwing through. And there's no prescribed number of bounces that they have to do necessarily in between each one. You guys can go ahead and just sort of building that athleticism, really feeling themselves push off the back foot. And we do this even before we would just get into kind of regular step and throw catch. And what this one is emphasizing, again, building a little bit more athleticism into their movements, and then making them feel a push, preferably off that inside part of their back foot. They're trying to develop a little bit of momentum going forwards into their throws. Just a couple more here, fellas. All right, let's hold the balls down there. So we would move from that just into some what I would term regular catch play. Some keys for regular catch play is the usage of the feet. Okay, usage of the feet and usage of the legs. Okay, at minimum, they should be working in a good full step into whatever their back foot is. Okay, even if they're starting square, and stepping into the throw, okay, and working through it, and getting that chest through the throw. Okay, as they would back up, we just work in a little shuffle, what might be called a pro step into the throw. You won't see our high school guys crow hop. This is kind of wading away from catch play and into outfield. What we would do from the outfield, and this is a great place to work on it, is just that sort of long toss shuffle. If you want to ask about that later, I can talk to you about that, but that's our footwork at our longest game of catch. You guys want to just model some, sort of basic step and throw catch. You don't have to shuffle, but getting a good, at least first step off of that back foot. Yep, Aiden's getting a little shuffle into it there. And your 12-year-olds are not going to just do this after you teach it to them once. Okay? My 18-year-olds don't do this after we teach it to them 7 times. I have to go out there, and I do go out there for catch play, okay? Because it very quickly devolves into, or let's work on my knuckleball today. And we want them to have fun, right? But like I said, in my view, this is the most important thing that they do every day. Okay? At some point, if you can't play catch, you can't play. That's the reality of baseball. And so this is the time, every practice, where we get a chance to do it. Okay, thanks, fellas. You can hold the baseballs and come on in a little bit more. In terms of like long toss and stuff, when you get into the season or longer throwing, let your kids listen to their arms. Okay? Not everybody is going to need exactly the same thing every day. 10-year-olds are going to bounce back much sooner than your 14-year-olds are, for example. Our high school guys, our pitchers, are going to long toss probably twice a week, somewhere in there. Your guys might be able to do it, a third time a week. It kind of depends on how many days a week you're interacting with them. But they don't necessarily have to air it out as long as they possibly can every day during the middle of the season. A few times a week is probably a decent guideline. As I mentioned, we'll do a little Q&A at the end. So feel free to hold on to any throwing warm-up questions that you have. I'll be happy to answer those at the end. I want to move in.